Hello everyone, welcome back guys. Hope you all are doing well. This is Mohammad Badruddija and today we are going to solve a machine from Hackthebox. The machine name is Stalker and the difficulty level of this machine is easy. So without wasting time, let's jump into it. So I will start it with the nmap scan as always. So nmap space hyphen s capital V for version enumeration, space hyphen s capital C for default scripts, and the target IP is 10.10.11.196, and I want to save the scan results in a file named as default.nmap, or you can name this file as you want. To save the time, I already ran the scan and here I am going to show you the scan results which is in default.nmap. Very normal, we found two ports open. The first port is port number 22. This is our TCP port. Port state is open, and the service running over this port is SSH secure shell, and its version is OpenSSH 8.2 P1 Ubuntu. Second port is port number 80. This is again a TCP port. Port state is open, and as we all know, this port 80 is default for HTTP, and the server running is NGINX 1.18.0. Here, as you can see, there is a URL on which it's trying to redirect. So I already created a record in my etc host file by the name stalker.htb, and so I can access this stalker.htb by its name. Fine. So let's go, and I'm going to, it's always better to have some enumeration in the backend. So what I'm going to do, I'm first of all going to make the subdomain enumeration, then I will go for the directory enumeration, and while that enumeration give us some result, we can go and see the page source and other things. So subdomain enumeration with the FUF tool, FFUF space hyphen W for the word list, and it is going to be user share a seklist discovery DNS, and inside DNS there is a file named as subdomain top 1 million, and the URL space hyphen U is going to be http://stalker.htb. okay, and I wanna put the host header switch, and the header I'm going to use is host header, and I'm going to fuzz the subdomain, so stalker .htb, right? And let's see. So hit enter and just control C. Why control C? Because you can see it's going to take each and every name from the word list of this subdomain top 1 million, and it is going to put in the place of fuzz, and it is going to try to access that. So all of the subdomains going to give us the response status 301, and the size is 178, words are 6. So what we can do, we can filter this result so that we do not need to see all of these results, right? So I'm going to filter this by size. So size is 178, and what I will say to FUF, okay, filter the size 178. I don't want to see this. So if any result contain this size in the response, so don't show me this. And I am going to choose number of threads, going to be 100. Hit enter, and as you can see, as we hit enter, we found one subdomain, and you can see the response status code is 302. Before we found all of the status code 301, but this is different. You can also see the size is different, the word is different. So it is redirecting actually somewhere, because 302 status code is there. So good. Now I'm going to make control C. Now I also created a record in my etc host file with this name dev.stalker.htb. Okay, so let's try to access that subdomain, and before this I just want to go to see the page source, and before page source I already have the extension in my Mozilla Firefox about Wapalizer. So I would like to see the Wapalizer result. So this main stalker.htb website is running on NGINX. We already saw that. JavaScript library is AOS. Operating system is Ubuntu. Reverse proxy NGINX, okay, is configured as reverse proxy 2. Static site generator, okay, UI framework is Bootstrap. Fine, very fine. Okay, now go to the page source, and in the page source, nothing much interesting there, because everything is deadling, as you can see here. Hash services, hash about us. Okay, so let's go and we will try to see what's running on the newly find subdomain. So instead of that, close this, open a new tab, http://dev.stalker.htb. Hit enter, and we found one login page. And let's try to see what is the result from the webalizer. So we found web framework is Express, CDN is delivery, web server is Express, NGINX, static site generator is Hugo, and programming language is Node.js. This is interesting. It is good if you are sure about programming language in terms of web application penetration testing. Okay, so reverse proxy NGINX, these results we already saw, but what we found new is about this subdomain, that the programming language is Node.js, it's using Express, and the static site generator is Hugo. Fine. So the burp proxy is already, I already open up the burp suite here. Second thing, what I want to do, GoBuster. Let's do some directory enumeration on this newly find subdomain. So GoBuster directory and directory space -w. It's going to be user share word list dub. Inside dub there is common.text word list space -u for the URL, and URL is going to be dev.stalker.htb/ and I wanna say number of threads, let's say 100, and hit enter. Let it run, and we come back here. Let's start the burp proxy, enable the burp proxy on the browser, and let's try to see what we found. Okay, so this is the login request. Back there, let's try to log in, and I'm going to just put some random default passwords like admin, and the password is password. Hit enter, and invalid username or password. Back to the burp proxy. This is the post request for login, and here you can see there is HTML p tag, and inside it found redirection to the login/login. There is parameter error, and its value is login error. What we can do, we can try some basic injections here if we want, because the post request is there and there is username and password. We can try SQL injection, we can try no SQL injection. Okay, so I already tried the SQL injection, but I proceeded with the no SQL injection. And how we can do this, let's go, and I'm going to send this request to the repeater. Go to the repeater, send this request again, so that we will be sure that okay, it's working fine. Now what we can do, if I go to let's say payloads, all the things, no SQLi. Oh, come on, it should be no SQLi. So no SQL injection. I'm looking for the authentication bypass. So in the authentication bypass, basic authentication bypass using not equal to. So what we can do, we can try this one, and it's basically what it's doing. I'm going to tell you. It's saying if username not equal to 22 and the password is not equal to 22, then log me in. And this is the correct statement. Whether the genuine username is admin or root or anything, and its password is anything. We don't know the password, but we put the correct statement that if the username is not let's say username is not tttt and the password is not yyyyy, so log me in. Let's try this, and as you can see, login error. Why the login error is because it's not the basic authentication, right? The second thing is, if the data passed in the request is in JSON format, then we can try this one. And this is same like this above statement. Like username, if the username is not equal to null and the password is not equal to null, then log me in, and this statement is correct. Okay, so what we can do here is to try this in JSON format. We need to change the content type. So here the content type is application /x www form URL encoded, and instead of that I'm going to change it to JSON, and I'm going to try this or this. Okay, not equal to null is the correct statement, because what the logic behind the login process in the most of the applications, that whenever you are going to log in, you must type the username and password. So once you type the username and password, it takes these username and password in variable and match it with the database, right? So if you write anything, that means is not equal to null. So let's try this one, the second one. Okay, so second one, let's say here, if the username not equal to foo and the password is not equal to bar, or you can say AAA and the password is equal to BBB, and send this request. Let's see what happened. And as you can see, found redirecting to a reference link which is /stock. Okay, that means the username and password AAA and BBB is not the actual or the correct username and password, but we say here in the syntax not equal to this. Username is not equal to A and password is not equal to B, and this is correct because in the genuine user is not this. Fine. So I hope you understand this one. I'm going to say follow redirection, and this is the page, and it redirects us to the /stock endpoint. I'm going to right click on this response and going to say show response in the browser, and copy this back to the browser. And what I'm going to do here is make sure before you paste this URL, you must enable the burp proxy on the browser and hit enter. So this is dev.stalker.htb/stalker endpoint, right? And that seems like some kind of online shopping site, right? So what we have some products here, and we need to add these products to the cart or add to the basket. Then we can view this product, and then let's see, I already open up the burp proxy, enable the burp proxy on the browser. Going back to the burp proxy, go to the proxy section, and I'm going to capture these requests or the complete transaction. So the first thing, I'm going to add to basket. Okay, second thing, now I add this product to my basket, so it means it should show in the cart, and as you can see, it's showing in the cart. Now submit purchase, and once I submit purchase, it's saying thank you for your purchase. That means the transaction is completed, and this is my order ID. Your order detail have been emailed to you. You can view the purchase order here, and if I click on this link, it is going to generate a PDF for this order, and this is the PDF for this order. Fine. So this is the complete process to purchase a product. Fine. Now go back to the burp suite, and here we found something. There are two things. Only API order is there, and as you can see here, there is basket. This is the ID. of the product. This is the title of the product. This is the description of the product, image, price, and amount, right? So by default, whenever you are going to add any product, its amount is going to be added, number of products is going to be 1. Okay, and after making the successful order, it will generate one order ID, and in this order ID you can get this purchase order, and its endpoint is API/PO, and this is the order ID, right? Okay, there is something missing what? This is the post request for the order, that's correct, but this request is missed. This request is missing here in the burp suite. Okay, now go back to the application. Here I'm going to see the page source. Let's see. So scroll down, and here we have the script, and this script have the logic for everything, from adding the product up to generating the PDF, this one, generating your purchase order. Okay, so this is the first method. This method is for product, API/product endpoint, where we are going to add a product. These are the values what we have in the request, like product ID, image, current stock, price, and the product description and the product title, right? So here we have ID, title, description, image, price, current stock, version maybe, or this is the amount. So this is the /API/product. Okay, add to basket. If product exists, then okay, and here as you can see, it is by default it's adding the number of product 1. Fine, that is okay. Purchase order link, and here it's going to create the purchase order link, basket template for each, cart table. This is for the cart, what products you have in your cart. And finally here you can see for the purchase order, API/order. This is the post request, and body is JSON.stringify, and that makes this application vulnerable to cross-site scripting, JSON.stringify. Okay, and here as you can see, the content type is application/JSON. So and finally, once the order is completed, you see that the PDF for the purchase order is generated on this endpoint, API/PO, and then you have to mention the order ID. So here this is the order ID, and this order ID is going to be set here with this endpoint, API/PO, and you can see your purchase order in the PDF format, right? So we found two things. We found here in this part, API/order, in this part there is a vulnerability for cross-site scripting because of JSON.stringify. It is going to make it, make this into the string, and then it will generate, once the purchase is complete, it is going to generate an order ID, and to see the PDF you can put the order ID with this endpoint. Let's see, try some XSS. So back here, and this time I am going to say let's send this request to the repeater. Go back to the repeater, and again I'm going to add the same product. Okay, because the product ID is going to be unique and it's going to be same every time. So with this unique ID, it is going to identify that it is the cup, So there is a database which contain all of this information, but the primary key is going to be ID. So this is not going to be changed. Let's try this. Send this, and it's generated the order ID. If I go back to the proxy, you can see the order ID is like 3A10 in the last, and here 3A1D. So this order ID is unique. What I can do, I can take this, copy back here and come back here. If I paste this instead of that, paste and hit enter, so we should have new, yeah, we have new one. New purchase order, right? So in the title part, if I say let's say iframe, okay, src source is equal to, let's try to read /etc/passwd file, okay, and close this and close it with iframe tag and send this request again, and this time 3A22. So copy this order ID and back here, and here just put this, hit enter, and as you can see within the iframe we can successfully read the etc passwd content. But the thing is, this is very small window and we cannot see the whole content. So we can try what, we can come back here, and here we can say height is equal to, let's say 500, and width is equal to 500, and send this request again. It will generate new order ID. Copy this order ID and let's get the purchase order. And this time we have a good amount of information, but still we are not reaching up to the last. There is user www data. Okay, so we need to make, come on, we need to make here height, let's say increase this height to 800, send this new order ID, copy that and paste it here. Okay, so it comes to the next page, and yeah, this time we have the full information. And as you can see here, the username, the genuine user is going to be Angus. Okay, so this information is interesting. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Also we have www data. That's okay, that's fine. So if we can read this, we can read other files too. And what other files we can read? Like if this application, for example, suppose this application built on programming language PHP, then we try to read index.php, okay, config.php, something like this. And we know that this application is built on Node.js. So we will try to read index.js, right? And this is the subdomain dev. So most probably we will see what? We will see /var/www/dev, and inside dev there should be one file named as index.js. Okay, so if this is PHP application, we try to search here index.php, but this is Node.js, so we will search for index.js. So let's go, and I'm going to copy this back here, and instead of etc passwd, this time I want to read the file where www dev is the directory for this dev application, and I want to read index.js. So send this and it will generate new order ID. Copy this and come back here. Instead of this, change the order ID to the new one, hit enter. Let's see, scroll down, and yes, we have the index.js file. And as you can see here, there is a to do, and in it it's saying configure loading from dot environment from production, and the DB URI, it's using MongoDB, and this is the format to access the MongoDB. So there is a password here, username is dev, and the password is this. Okay, so I'm going to copy this up to here, and let's save that here. What username we found? Username was ANGOOAC, Angoose, and password was, let's try this password. If there is a password reuse vulnerability is there, so we will be able to get the SSH session using this password. So come back here, clear that. So SSH Angoose at stalker.htb, hit enter. Let's paste this password, copy and paste it here, hit enter, and we are logged in. So ID and who am I? So I'm this user and this is my ID, ls space hyphen la, and here what is that? Clear it, ls space hyphen la, and there is user.text. So this is going to be our first flag, cat user.text, hit enter. This is our first flag. Fine. Now we need to escalate our privileges from this user to the root user, because if we see inside the home directory there is only one user, right? Now there is only one user rest, which is administrator or root. So I'm going to try sudo space hyphen l first and put the password for Angoose user, copy this, come back here and paste that, hit enter. So Angoose user has privileges to execute this node command, and what it's doing, it's executing this node command to everything. This star means everything that has extension of .js, right? And this star is going to make a problem, and because of this star there is going to be a huge problem. Why? Because star means anything, and we can create any file and put it just extension of JS. We can also jump to any directory because of this star, and finally we are going to specify a file named as anything, but the extension is going to be JS. So we can do bunch of things. cd/dev shm, going to the shm directory inside dev, and I'm going to say echo. Let's try to get the reverse shell. For reverse shell, refshells.com. Okay, so my IP is going to be 10.10.14.21, port number on port number 9001. Fine, very fine. But the payload I want in Node.js, right? So scroll down until you find Node.js. There is Node.js, and this is going to be the payload for reverse shell. So I'm going to copy this. Let's put first here. This is the payload. What I'm trying to do here is I'm going to say echo, and echo save this one into a file named as, let's say, cyber.js. Okay, so this is going to put this content, this reverse shell content, into a file named as cyber.js. Then what we are going to do, we are going to execute sudo/user/bin. Is it that user bin node? So user bin/node, and it's going to be this path. So copy copy this, paste it here. So instead of this, what I am going to do, because of this star, all the problem comes. Jump one directory. So now we are in the local. Jump one more directory. Now we are in the user. Jump one more directory. Now we are in the slash, means the top directory, top level directory, which is slash. And here I'm going to specify the path. Let's say dev/shm/ cyber.js. Okay, so we will execute this file with the node, and hopefully we will get the reverse shell. But for this reverse shell, the target system must have the netcat. If the target system have netcat, only then you can get the reverse shell. So we can try this which netcat. So there is netcat. Let's see. Here I need to say copy this one and paste it here. Okay, ls space -la cyber.js is there. Let's do one more thing. Change mod plus x cyber.js ls space -la. Now everyone can execute this. Root is going to execute because that command is going to be executed as root. Clear now? And what I am going to do here, nc space -nlvp on 9001. I am listening on this port. Now let's say sudo, this is going to be the command. Hit enter. Okay, and it's not asking for any password because we already put the password. Let's say sudo space -l. Yeah. Okay, we do not get any reverse shell. Fine, we can try something else. Instead of getting reverse shell, we can do a lot of things. Let's set the SUID bit on bin bash. So chmod u+s/bin/bash. Okay, so save that, copy back here, paste that command here. Okay, and then execute this. Copy, paste that, hit enter. ls space -la cyber.js is there. ls space -la/bin/bash. So the SUID bit should be set, and here as you can see SUID bit it's set. And now we can say /bin/bash space -p to get the shell. And if I say id, so you can see our ID is root, and if I say who am I, now we have all the root privileges. We are root now. Clear this and let's go cd/root. Present working directory is /root. ls space -la lists the files and directories, and here we have root.txt. So just to read the root flag, cat root.txt, and this is going to be our root flag. Fine, so that was the thing, that was the complete exploitation of this machine, and we reach up to the privileged user, most privileged user, which is root. We compromise the whole machine. So that's it. If you like the content, please like, subscribe and share. I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.